Hi, good morning, everyone. Can someone please confirm the audio and video is clear? Yeah, thank you so much. So we are starting DevOps overview sessions today. So what I mean by overview sessions are, so most of you are already working in IT, some of you are working in non-IT, and some of you are completed your graduation, but you wanted to come into IT sector. So everybody may have suggested you to learn and practice DevOps. Okay, so but it is not possible to make you understand in one single session or 1 hour session what is DevOps. Okay, because it is a big concept. It's not about the tools. So I wanted to take at least 5 days of time, and then I can explain you all the concepts in DevOps so that you will get clear understanding about what you are going to learn, how you are going to learn, what are the concepts involved here. Okay, if it is a development technology like Java or Python development, we can say it is just a development programming. Okay, but DevOps has something else. It's not about the programming. It is about the application deployment automatically. Okay. Yeah, so I'm recording this session. I will share this recorded session after the class completion. Okay. So forget about what you are working on at least for next half an hour, and then don't think about DevOps right now. So let us discuss a simple real life scenario. So whatever I teach, so I'll correlate with some real life scenario around us. Okay, so then you will get full understanding. So software or computers or IT concepts are not different than our real life situations. Okay, you can relate everything related to computers. You can relate to humans. Okay, so now let us, maybe I have already explained this in our YouTube videos earlier about the examination system. Okay, forget DevOps. Just let us imagine this is a story. Okay, so at least 50 years back, so we all have something like gurukuls or government schools. Schools were very less. Okay, for example, let us take the situation in 1960. Okay, so we have schools. So inside schools we have students. Okay, let us call as stakeholders. Stakeholders generally, who is part of the system, are called stakeholders. Okay, for example, students are part of the school system, and then teachers are also part of the system, and parents are also part of the system. Okay, so the examinations were, for example, you join now in the month of June. Examinations will be next year, March or April, right? So there will be only one single exam, one final exam at the end of academic year. Okay, so this is what happening. So what are the responsibilities of these three guys? So every stakeholder have some responsibilities to do. So ultimate aim is we need maximum students to get pass and more knowledge. This is the aim of everyone. Okay, not only students, parents or teachers, everybody aim is we need to get maximum students pass, and they need to acquire more knowledge as possible. So this is our aim. So for this purpose, teachers, so they start teaching the syllabus. Okay, and then students, they start studying. So here parents also has some responsibility. Parents, they need to pay the fee and check their children what they are studying, and they come to the schools and they inquiry teachers also how they are teaching, how their children are performing. So these are the minimum basic responsibilities of all the three stakeholders. Okay, so but examination is at the end of the year. So do they get seriousness? At least students, do you think they will start from day one, studying from day one? You can please comment. So just for an interactive session. So students, they don't get seriousness from day one. So they think they study at the when they are when the exams are nearby. Okay. So forget the students now. They obviously don't study from day one. So what about teachers? So do they start completing the syllabus from day one? Do they get seriousness also? So because exams are at the end of the year, so nobody is serious now. Students are also not serious. Teachers are also not serious. Parents are also. So they think examinations are at the end of the year. Okay, so let us monitor our children at least 2 or 3 months before. We can ask them to study 2 or 3 months before. So ultimately, so what do you expect the pass percentage out of 100 students? So do you know, right, in our olden days, like our fathers and grandfather generation, what is the maximum pass percentage do you think in the schools? Yeah, out of 100 students, if we get maximum 50 students pass, that is the super. Okay. Yeah, it's maximum 50, like 30, 40. So at those olden days, if a student get 10th class pass, then he will get the government job. Like he's the hero in his village. Okay, so that is what the situation. So most of us were not studying very well because of this entire system. Okay. So in this world, if you want to do some work, okay, then a process is very important. Our elder generations also, like your parents, your grandfathers, they always say follow some good process to complete your work. Don't do it blindly. So this is the universal statement everywhere you will be said. Okay, process is important to complete the work. So if you follow proper process, you will get good results. So this is the universal statement. So nobody is exception for this. Okay. So here we are following some process in this school management system or examination system. First you teach, you study, and you exam, pass or fail. This is the ultimate result, right? So it is very clear here, the pass percentage is very, very less. Okay. So now they thought about this process. So why we are getting very less student pass, because pass percentage is not even 50%. Then what is the point of teaching? So then they understood a simple point here. Just because examination is at the end of the academic year, nobody is serious. Okay, not even teachers are serious, parents are serious, students are also not serious. Okay, nobody is serious. So they just introduced a simple process again. So they changed the process here. Okay, let us discuss that process number 2. So can somebody guess what happened, at least from last 30 years? There is a simple change in examination system. Okay. Yeah. So yes. So there are unit tests. Unit test 1, at least I remember unit test 1, and then unit test 2, and then quarterly exams, and unit test 3, and half yearly. So these are like whatever I remember. So unit test 4 and final exams. So out of 10 or 9 months of academic years, we introduced more exams, like almost 7 exams. So now, when the academic year is started in June, so we have the examination in July end. So there is hardly 2 months left. Okay. So if you want to conduct the exams, what is for example, the management teachers wants to conduct the exam. So what is the primary responsibility? So they should teach. Otherwise, everybody will blame the teachers. If they don't teach, how can they conduct the exam? So the primary responsibility here is they should teach first. Okay. So now the examination is at the end of 1.5 months. Okay, 1.5 months later. So here teachers will get more seriousness than in previous process one. Okay, because here examinations is at the end of the year. At least they will do some time first. They will for first 3 months or 4 months, and after 3-4 months they get the seriousness. Then they start teaching the syllabus because there will be no exam. No one is monitor here. But here examination is at the end of maximum 2 months. If you don't teach, everybody will blame the teachers. So here teachers got some seriousness. Okay, so they are serious from day one. They have to complete the syllabus. And now let us discuss about students. So will they get seriousness from day one if the exams are at the end after 2 months? So how you guys are studied like in your BTech or engineering? So you are studying from day one for the examinations. So most of us studied at least 1 day before or 2 days before, maximum 1 week before. Okay. Similarly, when you join a school, like for the first academic year, so if the examinations are at the end of 2 months, you don't get obviously seriousness. Maybe you will get seriousness 10 days before when you were kids. Okay. So here student is little bit deviated from the seriousness. Parents, okay, they also not serious as serious as teachers, because it's their responsibility to complete the syllabus. Maybe parents, they will ask you to study 1 month before. Okay. So now let us discuss the exam, unit test 1. So here, how many exams we have? Only one final exam. Okay, if the result is pass, you are promoted to next academic year. If it is fail, then you will be in the same. Okay. So here you have only one and only final chance. You don't have any other chance. So here you got unit test 1. So if you fail, do you think it is a problem? You are not demoted, right? So if you fail, what will happen? So for example, out of 35%, you got 30%. Okay. So then it is a feedback for everyone, feedback for students, feedback for parents, feedback for teachers. Then everybody start questioning the system. So are teachers teaching properly? Are parents monitoring properly? Are children studying properly? So everybody, there is a question arised. Okay. So, but at least this is a first time failure. So you got another chance. Everybody will tell you, please be serious. Please, teachers, please take care of the children. Parents, please take care of your son and daughter. And students, you please start studying. Okay. So now again, there will be a unit test 2. So this time there will be more monitoring on the failure students. So there is a high chance they get failure from they get pass from failure. Okay, that is maybe around 40%. Hi, this session is purely related to DevOps only. Okay, if you are, I'm telling you something that is very important. Okay, please focus. Some of you guys are thinking that it's not a DevOps session, but it is a DevOps session. After 10 minutes, you will understand it. Why I'm telling all these things. So this is a strong foundation, at least I think, I believe. Okay, so unit test 2, so he got 40% like that. So just you imagine, so he is getting more chances. There is not only one chance. He has lot of chances to prove himself, at least to develop himself. So ultimately he got around, for example, 70% at the end of the final exam. So earlier you said there is a maximum pass percentage is 50 in this process 1. So in this process 2, can you just imagine what is the pass percentage? At least is it reduced or increased from 50? Maybe our 90s generation or 80s generation. So maybe pass percentage is increased to 70%. Okay. So why is the pass percentage increased from 50 to 70%? Is there anything? Syllabus is changed? No, it is the same, but a simple process is changed. So instead of conducting one final exam, you are getting multiple exams, and everywhere you are tested and you are getting the feedback, and everybody will tell you some suggestions. How can you increase the pass percentage? Okay, so this is the simple, very, very simple change in the process. So that's what I said. Process is very important to complete the work. You will get good results if the process is good. So, but just think this process is not permanent. It should continuously evolve. So 50, 60 years back, so we thought this is the good process. So we thought this is the good process, and we followed it for some years. Like, okay, after that we thought like, okay, we can do some simple improvement in this so that we get the maximum results. So we just introduced a simple change in the process. Then we got process 2. So now still pass percentage is 70 only. So but we want most of the students, 100% students to get pass. So now we introduced another simple change. So that is process 3. So process 3 here. So maybe here teachers are serious. They are teaching the syllabus from day one because the examinations are very nearby. So students are not serious. Okay, so we want to improve the students' perception. Okay, we want to improve the process in students. Anybody can guess what happened in this process 3? A change, at least from last 20 years. Okay, so there is something called daily slip test. Okay, forget about unit test 1. So that is at the end of 2 months. Don't think about unit test 1. Okay, so we are teaching, teachers are teaching the syllabus, and they will give you homework and they will give you slip test. Okay, so now here we have only 7 exams, but here almost daily you have a slip test. Okay, it's not a big test, whatever the teacher is teaching today. So they will ask you to study the same concept. Study the same concept. Okay, and tomorrow teacher will conduct a simple exam. And the slip test, maybe 4 or 5, just think 4 or 5 multiple choice questions. Okay, so there is one more thing we need to understand here. So in process 1, the examination is at the end of the year. Okay, we already discussed. So if you are, for example, a student is studying from day 1, do you think he will still remember the same concept at the end of the year also? No, so I think no. So he has to revise the syllabus every time. Even he is studying from day 1, but if he stops studying at least 10 days before the exam, definitely he will forget everything. So studying daily is very important. Okay, so that is what we understood here. So if I teach something today, if you go and practice immediately on the same day, then you will get the maximum understanding, maximum concept. But if you don't practice every day, if you practice after 1 week, then you may forget what I teach. Okay, and you will not get the seriousness. So studying on the same day is very important. So here parents are aware every day teachers are conducting slip tests, so they will warn their children about study in the home or do the homework. So now here, okay, so maybe students everybody is not very seriousness. Everybody is not very serious. So at least out of 100 people, students also, they remember immediately. If I listen the class today, so tomorrow if you ask me something, I can at least remember something. But if you ask me after 1 week, I don't remember anything. Okay, so at least if they listen the class properly, and if they are aware tomorrow is the exam, so out of 100, at least they can score 70 or at least 50 or 60 if they don't study. Okay. So daily they have slip tests and unit tests, quarterly, half-yearly, and everything. So everybody is forced to study, forced to practice at least by the process. Okay. So parents are warning, teachers are warning, students also getting a lot of feedbacks from daily exams. At least they will be very serious to uh, practice the concepts. So at the end of the academic year, so what is the result percentage nowadays? So in our schools, the result percentage is almost 95 to 100%. Okay, so now there is no chance of failure. Everybody is getting passed with minimum marks, like at least 35% or 40%. So you guys can convince to this thing. So because of a simple process change here, introducing many exams. Okay, so we got pass percentage is almost 95 to 100%. Nowadays, it is very rare if you are hearing someone is getting failure in their 10th class exams or SSC exams. Okay, so all this is because of a simple process change. Process is continuously evolving from last 60 years to till now. So that is the power of the process. Okay, so you don't think about what they are teaching, you don't think about what you are practicing. So in this entire ecosystem, you are forced to practice. Okay, so now let us apply this same thing to the IT. Okay, so I hope all of you guys are already aware what I am telling. Okay, so when IT is just started, like maybe 1960s or 70s, so we were getting some computers from IBM. Okay, IBM and some other companies. Okay, so they started developing some systems. Unix was getting started. So and all of the IT experts, so they are defining a process. So they thought process is very important in IT. So without process, we cannot develop anything. So at that time, so they created something called SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Okay, so in this SDLC, what are the steps they define to complete a project? For example, just imagine I am starting a restaurant. So I want the software for my restaurant. I want customers should log in, customers should reserve the table, customers should order the menu from my restaurant. So all this system I want. So maybe you guys are the IT team. Okay, you guys are from an IT company. So I don't know anything about IT. So all I want is I just need a software for my customers. Okay, so they should log in, they should order, they should book the table. All these features I want. I don't know any Java, I don't know any DevOps, I don't know any cloud. So I'm completely depending on you. So then the SDLC, what they say is requirements analysis. So this is very, very important, understanding SDLC. So you guys come to me and you will ask me, what are the requirements, what you want? So I will tell you something what I want in a business terms. I don't know any technology. Okay, so you take that requirements and finally you will define the requirements. So defining the requirements itself, whatever I told you, you will write it on a paper and then you will keep it in a proper format. So that is called defining. So after defining, you will do the design. So now from the business terms, you will convert this into the technical terms. Okay, so designing is nothing but I told you some business what I want. So then you understood the requirements and you will keep it in a, something like technical terms. So what I want from the technical perspective. So that's what you will design. Okay, so you will get your approvals from your managers and they say, okay, design is very good, you can follow. Then you will start coding. Maybe Java or .NET or Python, whatever it is. Okay, as a business owner, I don't know whether you are doing Java or not. I just want my application to run. That's it. So then you complete the coding finally. So without testing, you cannot do it, right? So you will go for testing. So once testing is completed, everything is good, then you will also show it to me. Then I will also test and like client will also do some testing and everything is good. Then you will go for deployment. So deployment is nothing but releasing to the public, releasing to end customer. So this is about deployment. and maintenance. So maintenance is nothing but, so our project is running, we need some maintenance. So definitely there will be few changes. And sometimes the system will be down, so we need to correct them. There will be some defects, we need to address them. So all this comes under maintenance. So maintenance is a lifetime until I run the restaurant. So there will be a lifetime maintenance. So this is the SDLC. Okay. So here how the development is getting started is, so first we had something called waterfall. So here now the stakeholders of this entire project is client. So client is paying money, and then developers, they are coding, and testers, they are testing. So all these stakeholders are very important. So without any one of them, the project will not be successful. Okay. So now let us relate this to our process one. Students are nothing but, for example, developers. Teachers are nothing but testers. Parents are nothing but clients, because these guys are paying money. So ultimately parents want their children to be in a good position. So teachers are conducting exams, here testers are testing our developers code. Okay. So in waterfall model, what we had is, so we are following SDLC. So usually what we ask is 2 weeks of two years of time. Okay. So at least before 2012 itself. Okay. When I joined in software in 2012. So I have seen this waterfall model at that time. So we take 2 years of time to complete, or 1 year of time to complete your project. So do you think the developers are serious from day one? Testers are serious from day one? Maybe clients are serious. They are excited how their product is getting developed. But do you think this developers and testers are serious? So definitely no, right? So because we had a long time, 2 years of time. So in this 2 years of time, many things may happen. Okay. So employees may leave the company. Okay. So usually when they get seriousness is like 1 year's time, they will spend mostly on the requirements gathering and some designing, approvals, all those times. So they will enjoy that. They will take that lenience because we have 2 years of time. So after 1 year, so now they start getting some seriousness and they will start coding. So when these guys are coding, for example, 6 months of time for coding. So when developers are coding, do you think testers has the work really? No work for 6 months. So in this time, so developers, right? So they are thinking about testers. So these guys are not working at all. So everything is developing by us. We are the great persons. So developer mindset is like that. Okay, when they are developing and testers are free. Okay. So they develop 6 months of time. For example, this is completed. Now testers start doing the work. Okay. So when you are testing something else product, so obviously your mind is continuously think of finding the defects. Okay. Find more defects. So in this process, what these guys were doing is, out of 100 defects they found, 80 are valid defects. And 20 are invalid defects. Okay. So when these guys are testing, at least developers are free. Okay. For some time. So now the testers, what they think is, so these guys, they don't know development at all. They are incapable of programming. So we got 100 defects. Then what they did this 3 months, 6 months of time. So that is what the testers mindset at when they are doing the work. Okay. So this was creating some internal grudge between the team. So here in process one, what is the goal here? We need maximum students to get pass. Everybody goal is like this here. And here our project goal also, we should release the project with no defects and properly in time. So that is our maximum goal. So your client goal is like same, and developers goal is same, testers goal is same, your even your leaders, managers, architects, their goal is the project should get success. But here internally there was some internal grudge is happening between the developers and testers. So now the real fight was started. So developers, they say, you don't know how to test, there are 20 invalid defects. So I have to spend more time to understand why this, to understand these are invalid defects. That's what they say. So then what testers were saying is, you don't know anything. So there are 80 valid defects. Why can't you develop without any defects? So this was the fight happening between the developers and testers. Then it will be escalated to the team leaders. It will be escalated to the managers. So now instead of concentrating on project success, everybody was concentrating on blame game. So developers should blame testers, testers should blame developers. Okay. But here only person who is getting most of the loss is client. So with this lot of fights, so finally they release something because they have to do something. Okay, so they release one product. So do you think this is a perfect product? You can comment. So this is not at all a perfect product. So if you plan for a Ferrari car, uh, if you plan for a Ferrari car manufacturing, then obviously you will get Maruti car, okay, or something, some car. Okay, so if you plan for a premium car, so at the end of this life cycle, you got something else. Okay, so obviously client is not happy, but they don't have any other chance. The process is like that. So we had lot of defects. Then everybody, it was a nightmare. So I think you still remember when you go to the bank at least 10-20 years back. So most of the times they were saying server is down, server is down, because we had lot of defects in the software. So the defects was because of this process. Now, can you relate this waterfall model with this process one? Because we don't have testing at all. So we have testing at the end of the development only. So after 6 months, if you throw randomly a 5 defects on the developer, do you think he will still remember what he developed? No. So as I said here, students, they start studying from day one. So if they after 6 months, they don't remember anything. Here, even you think the developer is highly talented, but after 6 months, he will definitely forget what he did, and he need to find it. So what he did, he need to understand himself what he did. So in this 6 months of time, many employees left the company, and you will get new developers. So you need to teach them what you did from last 6 months. You need to give KT. So most of the time is wasting for these kind of things instead of productive work. So now companies understood, okay, this is not the process we should follow. So now let us have something called agile process. So just like we introduced like term exams in our process 2, here they introduce something called modules. Okay. So now client is becoming somewhat powerful here. Earlier, he don't have any chance to know what they are doing. Okay, because every time they say, so what is happening? If the client asks what is happening, then say we are developing. Then he don't know what they are developing. So, but here we got something called modules. So for the restaurant, so developers or you guys, IT companies, so they create modules like this: sign up module, login module. Can someone tell these modules? And then something like catalog. What is the product catalog? Accounts module, orders module, okay, and then delivery module. So we will have lot of modules. So just like you divided one final exam into multiple term exams, so here similarly you are defining a big product into multiple modules. Okay, maybe 10 or 20 modules. So now the concentration is on sign up module. Okay, you forget about what is the end product. Okay, so this sign up module take 1 month of time. Okay, so now do you think developers are like, so they take the advantage of not doing anything? So everybody is getting serious now here, developers. So they have to release the sign up module at the end of 1 month. So out of this 1 month, 2 weeks for development. And 2 weeks for testing and deploying. Okay. So now developers got only 2 weeks of time to complete this sign up module. So sign up is nothing but, so if the customer enters their like first name, last name, and email ID, phone number, we need to save his credentials in our system. So developers definitely they will be serious because they got only 2 weeks of time. So in this 2 weeks also, so he is thinking testers, he don't have any work. Okay. So after this 2 weeks, the development is done. Now testing. Okay. So testing, at least they will find something around 10 to 15 defects. Same story. So 10 to 15 defects, and they will there may be 2 or 3 invalid defects. Okay, the same story will happen. So they will fight with each other, but the intensity of fights are a little bit reduced because their concentration and their goal is very nearby. Okay. So now the client is becoming more powerful here. He can test. So he can do the testing, and clearly he can get the feedback to developers, testers. Okay. So maybe testers, they found some 10 to 15 defects. So there is a chance testers are missing something and the client is finding the defect. If testers are missing something and if client is finding the defect, then it is like a big insult for the companies. Okay. Because we should not miss any simple defect. Just imagine there is a redbus.com and abibus.com. Instead of showing 2,000 rupees ticket, if the redbus is showing 20,000 or 2 lakh rupees with a simple defect in the development, so do you think the business will run? So instead of 2,000, it is showing 2 lakhs. So the business is collapsed. Okay. So if it is showing like 1 or 2 days, now everybody will leave from redbus and they will join in something else like abibus.com. So their business is a huge loss. So testing is very, very important as part of the SDLC life cycle. Okay. A simple miss in the testing can cause the entire business is going down. So there is something called like Arena 5. Just a single line of code caused the space program that is exploded. Okay. Thousands of crores in 1990s itself got lost because a simple defect in the single line it is. Okay. Instead of float, developers wrote int. And it was not found in the testing. So testing is very important. So this feedback will be received by developers and testers. Okay. So now if there are defects found, then client will be very serious. Okay. So he will give warning. So if you continue development like this, I will definitely go for another vendor. Okay. I will leave you. I will terminate the contract. So if I terminate the contract, you need to pay fine to me. So that is what the clients are becoming very powerful. So developers and testers, now they are very serious and they will be very careful while doing something like login module and catalog module, order management. So do you think this process can improve the end product? Can please answer in the chat. So definitely there is a process improvement. Okay. And even employees are leaving. So here developers are getting after 6 months, he don't remember anything. But here at least after 2 weeks time, he can remember something what he developed. Okay. Yeah. So this is the agile process. It is very popular from 2009 and 12. Okay. Every company adopted this process because of the better results. Okay. If a company is not following agile process, then definitely even the client, they will ask directly, are you following agile or waterfall model? So if I say waterfall model, then definitely client will not give project to me. So that's the first line of defense itself. So everybody in IT world are forced to practice this agile process. But initially, developers, we felt it is very tough for us because this is everyday stress. Okay, just like here, students are taking the lenience and enjoying first few months of time. So here in waterfall model, developers and testers, they were enjoying for few months of time, but here there is no time for enjoyment. So you must complete the deadline. So that is why everybody was feeling stress in agile process few years back. Now it is anyhow. So we are all adapted to this process. So now do you think something else can be improve this process that is called DevOps? So I hope you guys understood what I'm going to tell. So just like a slip test here. So here there is no collaboration because 2 weeks developers are sitting somewhere, testers are sitting somewhere. There is no communication. There is no collaboration. They don't even speak properly. Okay, these guys are completely in their work and these guys are doing some enjoyment, going for coffee, lunch and dinner, all those things. But here, so companies found out this issue. So there is no proper collaboration between developers and testers. So this is not a good process. Definitely we need to improve the process. So in 2009, I forgot that guy name. So one of the guy proposed something, he called that name as DevOps. So then he proposed few points. So he found out the serious issues in this, a serious blame game between developers and testers. So then he proposed something called DevOps. So what he said is, so why 2 weeks developers should be free? Why 2 weeks testers should be free? Why there is no communication between them? So if you want the project, so like teachers and students and parents, all of them should work with proper communication to get their children maximum percentage of knowledge. So here he proposed something. How can we get maximum communication, maximum collaboration? For example, one day sign up module, take this sign up module. Okay, still agile process. Okay, so first day time, imagine I'm the developer. So I did something like I developed enter your first name. So this is what I developed for the day one. That's it. Okay, this is what I developed. So usually in agile, what will happen? So you develop first day and at the end of the second week, you will complete the sign up process. But why testers should testers should sit idle? Why can't they test this single field? Okay. Here, if you are testing the entire module of sign up, you are getting 10 to 15 defects. After 2 weeks of time, if you tell the developer, then there is a chance of he forget something. But here on the first day, developer, he say, I completed this development. Then what tester immediately can do here is he can test this. How can he test this? You know this, like the conditions are 40 or 50 characters. So can you just tell me what are the conditions in this enter first name? No numbers, no special characters, should not leave empty. Okay, so these are the test cases. So do you think it is a real burden for the tester to test this? No, he can test this very easily. And within few minutes, okay, he can complete the testing and he will give feedback to the developer. Hey developer, or hey Ramesh. So I found out something, your code is accepting special characters. Okay. So now he just wrote the code. For example, I wrote the code and left for the day. And when I come to office tomorrow, I found this mail. Code is accepting special characters. So now I know what I did yesterday. I can solve this immediately. Okay. So within few minutes of time, I solve this and I send a mail to tester. So how the communication is happening here? So there is very, very less chance of finding the invalid defects, and there is very, very less chance of delay in the coding because I just developed yesterday. So now how is the productivity and how is the communication between developers and testers? Because they are speaking each other, they are communicating, they are collaborating with each other on daily basis. So now instead of becoming enemies, now here they become friends here. Okay. So now the process improvement made them developers and testers as friends. So daily they are communicating. So daily they are giving the feedback. So together at the end of sign up module, how many testing cycles went here? So here number of testing cycles are at least 14. Here number of testing cycles are only 1. Okay. Your test cycle is only 1. In 2 weeks. Okay, here test cycle is, I don't need to tell in waterfall, it is finally only 1. So if the testing cycles are becoming increased, so there will be more communication, more collaboration. You can find out the defects. Now the client, there is no chance for him to find the defects. Everything will become very perfect. So now we can conclude one point. So if you test a system, like a system, if you test it for one time, you may get no defect. So the same system, if you test it like 10 times, you may get around 2 defects. But if the same system, if you test it 10,000 times, so you may find out 20 defects. So these defects can cause serious problems. So in this complete module development, so in sign up, login, and then accounting, testing. So while by end of the product, you may find out too many serious defects. So a simple statement can be, if the number of testing life cycles are increased, then you will get more defects in the development stage and you have a chance to clear them. So that is what DevOps says. Okay. So you no need to think about the tools, you no need to think about anything else. So just think about something. If the developer is doing something today, the same code, even it's a 1 line of code, 1,000 line of code, it should be tested and it should be deployed in the development environment. Okay. You don't release to the public. Okay. Just do it in the development environment. Deploy in development environment. And then test it in development environment. So that is what the DevOps says actually. You don't need to tell any bookish definitions. You don't need to tell. So everybody says, so I see a lot of videos in YouTube. So DevOps is a collaboration between development and operations. DevOps is a process. Then what is that process? Anybody understand this? What is the process? I know DevOps is a process, but what is the process that everybody is following in DevOps? So I never seen a video convincing like, so DevOps is a process improvement. So that is having like this. Okay. So that is why I take a lot of time to make you understand what is the real process improvement. Okay. So today this is the best process, but after 10 years, this may not be the best process. So definitely you should improve to something else. Okay. So this is the process improvement, but there is one more point here. So you are developing. So testing is not that much easy. Maybe the day 1 code testing is very easy, but after 200 days. So do you think the testing is becoming very easy for the testing team to do that full testing? On the day 1, it is very easy, but once the days are getting passed, it is not that much easy to test completely. Okay. So that is why, because I gave you work. Okay. I gave you some work. At the end of the day, I want that work to be completed. I don't care how you do, whether you can do manually or you can do in an automation way. If I ask you to dig a hole, maybe 10 meters depth hole, I will come at the end of the day. I want that hole to be there. Okay, I want you to dig the hole. If you do it manually, maybe you will face a lot of struggle to do it. You need to deploy a lot of humans. Okay, and there is a chance of human errors. But if you take the help of any bulldozers, something like proclanes, so it is very easy for you. So he said, I want this. Okay, code I want whenever developer is completing the coding, the same day it should be tested. So that is the only point he said. He never said I use the tools, don't use the tools. He don't care actually. As a business owner, I don't care whether you use tools or you don't use tools. But I want this. I know the process. Okay, I know the process. I will come end of the day. I want everything to be tested. But if you do it manually, it is almost impossible. So that is why we got some tools. We are using tools to complete the work. Okay, if you do the manual testing for 200 days of coding, it will take a lot of time for you. But if you run the Selenium script, it will do it in a 1 hour time maximum. Okay. So that is why we started using tools to complete the work. But the process is never changed. Process is the same. Using tools or not using the tools, it's completely your IT company wish. I don't care, but I want that work to be completed. So that is why we started using the tools. Okay, so everybody says like DevOps is about the tools, but DevOps is not about the tools. DevOps is about the concept and process. If you understand that, using the tools or not using the tools, it's completely your wish. Okay, so do you know DevOps is becoming popular from 2012, something like that? But we have the tools we are using like Maven. It is already released in 2011. Jenkins, is already released in 2011. Okay, Maven, it is a bit earlier, I think maybe 2009. Okay, so these tools were already invented to do some heavy lifting work. But once the DevOps is becoming popular, luckily DevOps is using all these tools to do its work. Okay, so there is no there is no tight relation between DevOps and tools. So today this tool is popular. Maybe tomorrow something else will come up. So DevOps can easily accommodate that tool into its process. Okay. So this is the actual DevOps you should understand. So once you understand this, then we can go to the another sessions like how the development, how the process is going on. So now what is the DevOps responsibility here? The developer is doing developing, tester is doing testing. What is our responsibility? So DevOps guy, he need to write pipelines for deployment and testing. Okay, so slowly this became DevSecOps. So now DevOps guy, he need to find out the vulnerabilities also. Okay, after a few years, there will be AI ops. Okay, we no need to discuss. It will take at least five years. So right now we are doing these things, DevOps and DevSecOps. Okay, so because developers, their concentration is to do the development, not to do the integration. Testers, their responsibility is to write the test cases and to find out the defects. Their responsibility is not to the integration. So as a DevOps guy, so you should integrate all the teams into a single pipeline. Okay, so clients or managers, they don't need to check what developers are doing. They don't need to check what testers are doing. So after you develop this code, for example, developer did this, okay, and then he committed to the Git and he left for the day. So immediately your pipeline should trigger. It should automatically deploy that application in dev environment, and you should call the testing scripts. And at the end of the pipeline, you should tell the clear feedback, how many test cases are failed, how many test cases are passed, whether the deployment got success or not. So a mail will go to the developer, a mail will go to the tester, so they can see the feedback and they can immediately start their work. So here you just understand, in waterfall model, we need to wait 6 months of time to know the defects. In agile model, you need to wait 14 days of time to find the defects. But in DevOps model, immediately within 5 minutes, you can understand, you can get the feedback. Okay. So don't worry about what is pipeline. Pipeline is just a process like a pipe, just in general language, what is pipeline? From point A to point B. So that is the pipeline is nothing but integrating all the stages like deployment, testing, security. So that is called pipeline. Okay. So you understand this thing, you try to convince the process improvement, how it is done from waterfall to DevOps, and then we can discuss slowly the internals of DevOps, like what is the importance of operating system, what is the importance of configuration management, continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, source code management, build tools, all these things we will understand in the upcoming sessions. So now we can accept few questions, and tomorrow session we can. So I'm going to upload this recording in this channel. Okay. So please subscribe to this channel if you don't mind. So we can accept few questions now. You can raise your hand. So in upcoming sessions, I will discuss the concepts and then I will discuss but nothing is going to be very deep. Okay. So first you understand so about the DevOps and the concepts. So later we will go technically from 30th July. Okay. So I'm going to teach DevOps from 30th July. You can find the details in joindevops.com. Okay. Yeah. So questions are from Mahesh K. Kuntola. You can unmute and ask.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I completed the 16 password.
Okay.
No IT, no idea in IT lesson.
Okay.
That's how to come into in those.
See, my intention to start these sessions are to make you understand about DevOps. Okay. Don't come to the early conclusion right now. So join these 5-day sessions and then decide. So if I start answering these kind of questions, everybody has their own opinion. So you attend these 5-day sessions, understand what is DevOps, and then you will get the final conclusion. Okay. So if you have any questions related to this concept, you can ask. Hemant Kumar, Katrakoti.
Hey, hi, sir.
Yeah.
This is Hemant. Actually, I have a couple of questions, general related to DevOps. Actually,
Yes.
what you're speaking, I'm completely new to this course. I'm not evolving to this course. I didn't explore anything about this. So, will you be giving from the scratch the training? What are the things you are going to provide us for next couple of 3 months?
Yes.
From the scratch, right? And you will be covering each and every part of the DevOps course offering. I hope so. You have mentioned something in
Yes.
course offering
Yeah.
webpage.
So isn't this from the scratch? So
Yeah,
definitely
it
this
is
is
very,
from the.
it is from very scratch. I am aware of it. Definitely, it
Yeah.
is very
So
helpful of understanding actually.
yes, why I started this 5 days overview session is you should have the overall understanding of DevOps. So
Yeah,
otherwise, every day you are like you don't know what I'm going to teach. So you're
yeah.
completely unaware. So
So
maybe many persons like what they do, they take 1 hour demo, and then within that 1 hour you don't understand what is DevOps. You feel yourself convinced and join for the next 3 months, and you don't know what is upcoming. So that is why I wanted to give the overall understanding how it is going to be, what we are going to learn, what are those concepts. Then while teaching the actual technology, so you will understand mostly. And
definitely.
definitely you should practice also. Okay, so DevOps is the top trending technology with more package, but not a simple thing just to listen the class and if you leave it, obviously nothing will happen. So you need to practice daily. Whatever we practice here, just do it practically.
Yeah, definitely. So the father, is there any tools that we want to install from our end for a free installation? Like you'll be providing anything?
Everything is open source. DevOps mostly it uses open source tools.
Okay, okay.
So we will install, we will do it from the scratch. The same thing you have to repeat.
Okay. One last and one final question. Like after getting into it, like you'll be providing any certification for us sir, after complete?
Certifications, whatever, if I provide the certification, that is not valuable actually. If you do
Okay.
the certification from Amazon, then it is valuable. For example,
Amazing.
if you are applying for a 3 years DevOps position, and if you say there, I recently completed DevOps training from Siva from joindevops.com, then you please give me the job. So definitely they will not consider you.
Yeah.
So the training here I am giving is 3 to 4 years level of training. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll take you from the basics. I'll teach you everything. There is no time waste, 3 months, and you have to practice at least 4 times more than me. If I'm teaching
Okay.
1 hour class, you should practice 4 hours. So
Okay.
then this complete set of things will make you 3 years of experienced engineer. So whatever we practice, it is going to be completely on real time.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
So
I would like, yeah, the same thing, like a certification you're asking to do from externally from AWS something.
yeah, so I can provide course completion certificate. So just like Udemy, something
Yeah.
else. Okay.
Okay. I thought like you have started one more batch like July 1st, right? I missed it to join that batch actually. So that's what actually I've joined from today. The same level of coaching will be given from there and here as well, right?
Yes,
No,
everything is same. So whatever from joindevops.com, the syllabus is completely same.
yeah, but
Okay.
I have here like AWS is something, dev AWS, something you're mentioning AWS, right? Will AWS will be covered as part of this syllabus
Yes,
or?
yes, AWS is covered. DevOps and cloud both are like two tires for a cycle. Okay, two tires for a bike. So
Okay,
we should
because I
should
thought you'll be completely providing DevOps training here, like you'll be
no.
making.
Without cloud, we cannot complete DevOps. So I
Oh,
said that's
oh,
what I'm saying. DevOps and cloud, like
oh,
AWS, those two are like two wheels for a bike.
okay, okay, okay. Sure, sir, sure,
Yeah.
sir.
So attend
Then,
next a few sessions. If you are not able to attend, find the recordings in the channel. Okay, thank you so much. Sheikh Mohammed. Praveen Kumar P.
Yes, hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I have generic questions like for all these files, like Docker files and Terraform files, Jenkins files, will be provided by the developers. What exactly will DevOps engineer will do? Only pipeline scripts or anything
Okay,
else?
so all these things are very too early to discuss. So for the next 5 days at least, just spend 5 days time. So I cannot clear each and everything related to this technical doubts in a single 1 hour session. Okay, slowly I will take you guys into the upcoming sessions. There you will get full clarity.
Okay, okay, fine. And one more doubt. Like, will you be covering that GitOps, Argo CD kind of things?
The GitOps is okay, so that's what I'm saying. GitOps is covered, but the meaning of GitOps is whatever you do, everything should be in a GitHub repository. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so
Okay.
I will definitely cover whatever is required for the DevOps and cloud. Okay, I don't leave anything. So GitOps is already covered. Okay, just understand what is GitOps. GitOps is nothing but whatever you do, either you are developer, tester, or operations, DevOps, cloud, everything should be in a GitHub repository or any Git repository. That is called GitOps. Okay, so we will
Yes.
discuss about that in upcoming session. So as I say, in a single session, I cannot make you understand each and everything in a DevOps. So that's why I took this complete 5 hours time, and I will discuss each and every concept in DevOps. Then you will get full clarity and understanding. Okay, so later you join with us for the course or not, that's completely your wish. First, I want you guys to understand what is DevOps. Okay, so later you prepare on your own or you join somewhere else, that is completely your wish. First, you understand what is DevOps.
Okay, fine. And one more doubt, like recently Azure is getting more popular than AWS. Do you have any idea for that, behind the reason?
No, AWS is all the time market leader. If you just search right now, what is the market position of AWS versus Azure, and then go GCP. So there is no difference. So Vodafone is, or Airtel is giving the service, Jio is giving the service. Okay. So similarly, you can see AWS market share is always high.
Yeah, it is high, but most of I have heard most of think migrating to Azure only.
Sorry, I didn't heard.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever the cloud, either it is AWS or Azure or GCP, the underlying concept is same. Okay, so if you are using GeoSIM or if you are using Airtel SIM, both are using for the same purpose. Just like cloud also, we are using cloud for the infrastructure purpose. Underlying concepts are completely same, just terminology will be different. Okay, that's it. So it is completely your wish again which cloud to select, but my recommendation, or you search any YouTube video, for the first time learner, the recommendation is to learn AWS, because AWS is the one who invented cloud computing, and their services are highly stable. They have more than 1,000 services. Okay, you will get a lot of resources. The user interface, everything is very easy. Terminology is also very easy. So if you learn AWS, obviously each and every company now you are using multi-cloud. They are not completely depending on a single cloud. Okay, so they have hybrid cloud infrastructure. In a same company, project A may use AWS, project B may use Azure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Sanjita.
Hi Shiva, I'm
Yeah,
Sanjita
hi.
here.
Yeah, hi,
Uh,
Sanjita.
I'm from Australia. I live in Melbourne.
Okay.
I just want to know the timings. So mostly now it's 11:30 to 12:30 classes there, right? So if you can please conduct like evening time in India, so it will be easy
No,
for us, like,
timings
we
are
can.
fixed. Timings are fixed. Sorry.
Okay.
The evenings we will be under pressure. Okay. So morning we wake up and then I wake up and then I teach. So then my mind is blank. If I teach evening, then my mind is running with a lot of things, a lot of work pressure, personal pressure. So then I may not teach properly. So that is why I choose morning.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Shiva. Yeah, that's all I just wanted.
Yeah. So yeah, hi guys. So you may have a lot of questions related to the DevOps tools in depth or something else, but it is too early to discuss all those things. So slowly you understand, and then finally at the end of 5th day, you will get some clarity. So whether you crack the interview, you are able to learn DevOps or not, you decide at the end of the 5th day. But definitely it is the trending technology in IT industry now. So that's all for today. So thanks for joining. See you in tomorrow's session. Have a nice day. See you.